Hi guys, and welcome to another Divi Theme video. This is Jamie from System22 and webdesignandtechtips.com. We've got one for you today. We've got a little button down here, the purple button. When I click on it, it's going to open up and reveal a section below. We're just actually using a toggle module to do this today. We're modifying it with a little bit of code, and to display a saved section in here, we're actually using a free plugin called Divi Supreme Modules Lite. Really easy to do, so let's get started. Okay, well, let's enable my Visual Builder. And I'm simply going to go down and we'll delete this whole section. Blue tab for a section, green tab for a row. I'm going to delete the whole section. And we'll start from scratch. Okay, the first thing we need to do, if you want to pop up sections, if you don't need to pop up sections, you don't need to get this plugin. If you just want to put your own content in your toggle, I'm going to go over to divisupreme.com and you'll find this URL below the video here. It's going to take you to this page. Roll down a bit. There's Divi Supreme Lite right there. Hit the more info button. And it'll take you to the page telling you about it. You get about 20 different modules with it. It's a great little free plugin, actually. We've covered it a lot before. In fact, we've got a playlist about it, I think. If you go all the way down to the bottom, you're going to find your free download button. Go ahead and download it. Install it like you would any other plugin. So go to your dashboards, plugins, add new, upload plugin, and simply drag your upload or choose your file from your download location and install now and activate. Once you've got it activated, you'll see the little Divi Supreme down in your menu bar here. Now once you install this, if you've got any things saved in your Divi library, if we go down to our Divi library, down to Divi and down to Divi library, once you've got this installed, you'll see a little shortcode by anything that you've saved in your library up here. And that's how we can import this into our toggle. Right, well, let's go back to our page and get started. I'm going to go ahead and add a new section, as we deleted that section just now. Just click on the section. It'll pop up a little blue button. We'll add a new section. I'm going to make mine a regular section. And inside, I'm going to put a row with one column in it. Divi comes with all these light grey modules as standard. There's plenty to build just about any site. Once you've installed Divi Supreme Modules Lite, you get these ones in the blue here. We're not actually using any of their modules for this demo today, just the extension for the shortcodes there. I'm going to use a toggle module for mine. And there it is. We've got a little toggle right there. And for the content, obviously put whatever you want your content to be up there. I'm just going to say open on mine. I think when they hover over it, I'm going to have it say closed. So common to most Divi modules, if you hover over the dark writing in there, some icons will appear. If there's a little arrow, we can set a desktop state. When they're not hovering over it, I want it to say open. When they hover their mouse over it, I'm going to have mine say closed. Or just close, I suppose, if you want to close it. Great. Okay. Well, this is where we need to put our shortcode in the content. So let's just select that and delete it. Now we can go back to our layouts, and you can save any layout you want to your library. Let's start again, and we'll save one of these to our library. I guess we'll save this one. I think this is one I used before. So I'm going to go into the section itself, to the blue tab. I'm going to hit the little round icon just to the left of the trash can there. I'm going to save this to my library. I'm just going to call it blurbs. Obviously, call yours whatever you want. It kind of wants to mean something to you. Okay, and once saved, we can go to our layouts. We'll put down to our library again, down to Divi Theme Library. I'll need to refresh this as I've just added a new one there. There it is at the top, blurbs. If we go over to the right hand side, we've got a shortcode. I'm going to go ahead and copy that shortcode, Control C. I'm going to go back to my site. I'm going to roll back up to my little toggle up here. We'll go back inside. I'm simply going to paste that shortcode inside the content here. There it is right there. Great. Now just so we can see what's going on, I'm going to save this. We'll save our changes down here and look at it on the front end. Let's exit the visual builder. Okay, well this is what we got. I can click on it. It's going to open up and show our little section there with our little coloured buttons. And when I click on it again, I can get closed. So we've got open and close there. But I want this to be a lot smaller so it's more like a button. I want it in the middle of our little section here. Now what you could do if you wanted to, you can make this row fixed position and have it over on the side or something, and they could roll up and down and have 2 or 3 different toggles for different sections and it'd be there all the time. I'm going to keep mine as a simple button just like this. So I want to make it a lot smaller. When the content opens up, I want it to be full screen, that's for sure. So let's do this. I'm going to close this button right here. And I'm going to right click and inspect because I want to find the class name for this closed toggle right here. And we've got a bunch of class names here. The one I actually want, if we roll over it, it'll highlight it, is ETPB Toggle Close. There's a bunch there. You can double click, it'll select all of those. Anywhere there's a gap, that's a separate class name. The one that I want is ETPB Toggle Close. Okay, so I'm going to copy that, Control C. I'm going to add a little code module, or you could go to your theme customizer and put it in the additional CSS there if you wanted to. So let's enable our visual builder again. I'm going to go ahead and add a code module. Little plus to add a new module. I'm going to use a code module. Well, like I say, you can put this in the additional CSS panel if you prefer. Okay, we copied that class name. All class names have to have a dot or period in front of them. But before we can write this in there, we've got to tell it that it's CSS. So I'm going to open some style tags. And in between, we can write our CSS. Now, I'll put the CSS down below. I can't put these style tags down below purely because of the pointed brackets on the end there. It won't let me. So remember to put your style tags in. If you're using a code module, you don't need them in this additional CSS panel. And an opening tag is simply left pointy, the word style, right pointy bracket, and to close it exactly the same with a / before the S. Great. Well, let's put in that class name. All class names have a dot or a period in front of them. So there's the dot and then the class name. And we can open and close some curly brackets. And in between, we can tell it what we want. Well, I want it to be a lot skinnier for a start. Maybe give it a fixed width. I think I used 12% before, 12 and the percent sign. And what it's doing is that is actually 12% of the area that it's in, which is the column. Okay, so if I make it say 15%, we can adjust this later. Stop that word breaking right there. It's kind of got what we want there. But I want mine in the middle. And what I was saying before, if you wanted to make this fixed, let's just leave it right there. I'm going to make my row full width so that the content, when it appears, is full width. So to do that, click on anywhere within this green square right here, which is a row, green tab for a row. I'm going to go in there. I'm going to hit design. I'm going to go to sizing. I'm going to pull width up to 100%. I'm going to copy it and paste it in the max width below. Control V, or you can just type it in if you want. We've got a full width row, and as you can see there, that button is now on the left hand side over there. Now what I was saying before, if you wanted to make this sticky so it stays there, you could go to your advanced, to position. Remember, we're in the row settings. I'm going to make mine fixed position. I'm going to put it in the middle so it's right there now. You'd have to pull your Z index up so that it's on top of everything else behind it. That way, if you wanted it that way, it would stay on that side and you could have 2 or 3 toggles. I'm not actually going to do that today, but that's just an option for you. So I'm going to put this back to the default. And we're back to where we were over there. I do want that button in the middle. So let's go back into our code module. Now with code modules, you may have trouble getting to it because you can't really see it on the screen here because there's no real content. If that's the case, go down to your little purple button here. Go over to the left hand side and we've got a little icon that says wireframe view. Hit that. And it takes us to the wireframe or back end kind of mode. And if we roll down, there's our toggle, there's our code. We can get in there easily just by doing that. Then flip back to the desktop mode when you're ready. Okay, where's our button? There it is. Now I want this button in the middle. So after my width there, I'm going to put a semicolon. I'm going to say margin, colon, auto. That should pop it in the middle. There we are. Fantastic. Great. Just what I wanted. Let's actually give this a let's give our toggle a class name because I really want my writing in the middle there. I don't want to see an icon when we're closed, but I do when we open it. So I'm going to go over to my Advanced tab, CSS IDs and classes. Let's give this a class of its own. Okay, now we've given it a class. Let's go into our design. For the icon, I don't want to see it at all when we're open. So closed, or I should say when it's closed like that, closed, I'm going to have it transparent. When it's open, and you can choose different icons here. When it's open, I'm going to leave it white. That's fine. Let's close that up. Now the toggle itself. When it's open, let's make it blue. When it's closed, perhaps we'll make it purple. That should turn it purple right there. I can't read my writing very well there, and you can see the icons disappear because we made it transparent. Let's go to our title text now. Open title text color, I'm going to make that white. And title text color general, I'm going to make white. And I'm going to pop mine in the middle. I'm not going to change anything like the font or anything like that. I'm sure you know Divi's got a crazy amount of fonts. If you want to audition one, just roll over it. It'll give you an example. Okay, let's pop that in the middle. Okay, that's not really central to me. It's because we've got a different amount of padding left and right, it looks like to me. So let's try adjusting that with our code module. I think I'll make that uppercase as well. So let's save this. Again, we'll go into the code module. Easiest way is going to be go wireframe mode. There's our little code module. To flip back so we can see what's going on. Okay, we gave this a class of togsec so we can target it. Let's get the class name, togsec. And I know that's H5 tag right there, so I'll show you that in a minute when we take a look at it. I want to target the H5, open and close some curlies. Inside, I'm going to give it my own padding. So I'm going to say padding. I've got a fixed width, so I can just put one value in. I'm going to put in, say, 25 pixels. So it's colon and 25 pixels. It's not done what I want, so I'm going to enforce it by using important. That's worked nicely, but it's made it a bit bigger than I really want it. So maybe let's take that down to 15, let's say. Or even 10. Kind of getting it to look a bit like a button. Yeah, that's going to work for me. I think now that we've made this row bigger, I can take that percentage down. Let's take it down to 10. It's up to you. That works. That's absolutely fine. So that's what it's going to look like when it's closed. When it's open, because we're only telling the closed bit to have a width of 10%, it should go full width. But I don't want any padding around the side because we'll have a purple or a blue background, whichever we gave it there. So let's save our changes here. We'll go back into our module. I don't want to take any padding away. So let's go to design, spacing, padding top and bottom. I'm going to make that 0. Just put in the 0, don't have to put in the pix. And on the bottom, I'm going to put 0.2. And it's taken away any top and bottom padding that I had there, which is fine. I might make that button a little wider in the code in a minute. I also want to do the same for the left and right, because when it opens up, I don't want to see any color on the side there. Great. Well, I think we're pretty much done here. I'd like it to be in the middle of our column here. So let's save those changes. We'll go back into that code module quickly and adjust the height. Remember, this is just affecting the text itself. So let's take that back up to maybe 20 pixels. Yeah, it's about right for me. Works fine. Okay. I want to take a bit of padding away from the bottom of our section here so that button's more central. So let's go into the section. Blue tab for a section. I'm simply going to go to design, spacing, padding bottom. Let's make that 0. That's not too bad. You can increment up and down if it's not quite exactly where you want it. Being height, it'll stay there. I think that works for me. Let's change that to 5. We should be good to go for this now. Let's save our changes. We'll save the page changes. And let's exit the Visual Builder. We'll roll on down. Click on it. It's going to open up. It's going to pop wide. And you can go in there, do what you need. And you can add any section, rows, modules, whatever you want to pop up there. And when we're done, we can hit close and close it back up. And just while we're here, I'm going to inspect that just to show you it was an H5 tag. I should have showed you this before. And there it is right there, H5. That's why we targeted that. And of course you can duplicate this as many times as you want with different modules. So if we enable the Visual Builder again, I'm going to go down. I'm simply going to duplicate this module right here. And we've already got the code in place and it'll have the same class name. So all we need to do is duplicate it. Go into our second one here. And you can change the margin and things like that if you want them to be closer together. So let's go into our second one here. Obviously you'd probably want to give it a new title, but we'll give it a different shortcode. Let's say 237, let's see what else, 236 probably, or 212 was the one before it. Let's change it to 212. Or just recopy if you want to. We'll save that one now. And if we exit, and we'll roll down, check it out. We'll hit the first one. And that one pops that one out just below like that. And the second one pops out this different section right there. So there you go, guys. There's how to pop up a section using a toggle module. Really easy to do. Like I say, got to do a tiny bit of code. I'll put all that code down below the video. I hope you've enjoyed this today and found it useful. If you have, please give it a thumbs up, ring the bell, comment, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Don't forget, if you have any questions, pop them below the video. I'll do my best to answer them or make a video demo for you. Once again, this has been Jamie from System22 and webdesignandtechtips.com. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.